exploring body language and food distribution in committee discussions.
You see how erect and straight he is. You can't see his hands. You can't see his hands. Let me just go back a little bit so you take another look at him. This is when you know people have issues.
So they will give a daily distribution of hot meals. So if we work with the 116, you also indicated that you estimate that each package would serve about 4 people.
Yes, for 4 days.
For 4 days.
Yeah.
So with about 20 days gone, then we should have had about 5 rotations.
That is ideal.
That is ideal. So with this number, we should have...
That answer, no, I mean, accept the answer that is ideal. 20 days, you have 4 days, 5 family, 5 rotation, 5, 4, 20, right? The ideal, just tell me, say, yes, that is it.
Indicated that if it was serving a family of 4, then at best, each family would have received 1/5 of the time, or 1/5 of the families would have received enough times. Which one is the more likely circumstance?
See it now?
Repeat this for my clarity.
All right. So for the 5 periods that would have existed since the hurricane, you have distributed enough food for 1 per family.
Look, it's simple. 20 days. And him say 1 package can serve for 4 days. So what the man I said to him say is that 4 into 20, 5, 4 is 20, right? So it's 5. It say you get either 5 rotation, meaning that 1 family either get 5 rotation, or you have 5 families getting 1 rotation. That's where it comes down to. It's very simple. I don't know why and this man is supposed to be the big brains behind them things, yeah?
You have distributed enough food for 1 per family. So if it is 1 per family, then they would have received 1/5 of the times that you desired. Or was it that 1/5 of the family received enough rotations?
See that now, see the hand movement now?
The reality of it might be a mix of the two.
Sorry.
Because we have been back into
Instead talk Spanish or what that, Greek. I don't know what kind of language that. The reality of it, well, I've got 2. I don't know what kind of language that. You know, you're Damion said, sorry, kind of said, I don't know. The question turned this man in an idiot. Stagger him start speak a foreign language.
Be a mix of the two. Sorry. Because we have been back into low. The reality of it might be a mix of the two. Sorry. Because we have been back into locations to issue products.
So in that case, therefore, there would be some persons that would have been...
We've been back in the location to deliver products. If I laugh, I did. Him turn fool. Him stunted now, no. Him forget the term care packages. You hear him say now we go back and we deliver products.
Be a mix of the two. Sorry. Because we have been back into locations to issue products.
So in that case, therefore, there would be some persons that would have been in a rotation, indicating that there might be quite a bit of persons that have not been touched by government.
The possibility could exist.
How quickly could we get that information so that we can cauterize and immediately solve that situation?
We could see to work on it just to complete it this week.
This man is displaying the Peter principle. There's such a principle that says you rise to your level of incompetence. That's where he is right now. He has risen to the level of incompetence. This is the man spearheading the relief restoration initiative. And you know why it is a problem? Tell you why it's a problem. It is a problem because this man is a military man. Military man, you don't engage him in discussions. You issue orders. So he has no idea how to hold a discussion with anyone. At least anyone with the competence of the questioner, Damion. He doesn't know. And that's why the Prime Minister wants him, this man in the office. And that's why the Prime Minister has the plenipotentiary ambassador, Rocky Mead. That's why the Prime Minister, him have them people in their office. You know why? Because when the Prime Minister said jump, their job is to say how high. Their job is never to say, why am I jumping? Why? They're not trained to have discussions. They're trained to follow orders. That's why we're seeing this display. Very, very poor performance. Big up yourself, Damion. And if I were in that, and I said, Damion, I mean, just finish whatever meat left on the bone. Finish, just pass it to me. Just pass it to me. Bim, you there? Oh, Bim gone. But these are the people in charge. These are the people in charge. You're right, Elaine. It sounds like Spanglish. Him start speak a language that Damion after Damion have to ask him what he must say. No clue. No clue. No. Let me say this about the Paul Buchanan case. If Paul Buchanan is successful, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Oh, Jeffrey Rattigan, that's all. Hey, let me just put this off. Jeffrey, you're right. Jeffrey, I have another one. I have another one with Sauls. Ashley Sauls. I have about 2 or 3. The man would have killed them in a parliament, man. The man would have killed them in a parliament. Killed them in a parliament. And Damion is the similitude of Mr. Sauls. Or Mr. Sauls is the similitude of Damion. Actually, I'd say the farmer, because I've been watching him for a while. More so asking these types of questions in parliament. More so than I've watched Damion. But Damion good. Damion good. But going back to the Paul Buchanan case, and let me just say this to Minister Tufton. I know that you are preparing yourself to become the next Prime Minister of Jamaica. I know this. You have made your intentions abundantly clear that you aspire for higher office. And if you're a minister now, the only higher office I can think of is Prime Minister. And your day is coming soon. Yes, indeed. God willing, it's coming soon. Go and prepare yourself. No, you must be sitting there and gleefully wishing that the judge on the 8th of December is going to say that the election in what is it? West Central St. Andrew is null and void. You're waiting to hear those words. Because the moment you hear those words, you know, and the rest of your crew, know that it simply means that we don't have a prime minister at that point, and we don't have an MP. And therefore, the party will then have to submit a name to the Governor General and say, this is a person whom we have confidence to lead the majority of us in Parliament. So December 8th, people, is a pivotal moment in Jamaican political history, because it could mean the end of Andrew Holness as we know him. Could be end of Andrew Holness. Because if it's declared null and void, they have to put up another name. They have to put up a name, because there's no prime minister. And that means it can't be Andrew Holness. You know why? Because if it's declared null and void, Andrew Holness is no longer a member of Parliament, and you cannot be a prime minister in Jamaica unless you're a member of Parliament. Civics lesson. You must be a member of the House of Representatives in order to become prime minister. You can't be a member of the Senate and be prime minister, because those positions are appointed. It must be an elected position. So here's how it's going. Here's the likely scenario. If the judge says, no, the election's fine, then, folks, we have a duty, and that duty takes effect immediately. We then have to put our funds together and support the appeal, not because of the candidate or the person, but because of the principle, the sanctity, the purity of the election process. We don't care who the candidate is or who the party is. Fact of the matter is, the law says that you must, if you've lost the election, you file your submissions, you file your affidavits with the constituted authority. They then have to provide those to the election court. They have to file on your behalf. And then the election court, they will look at the evidence and decide whether the election should be declared null and void. They're the only ones can do it. That's the principle we're fighting. If the court says it's null and void, we have no prime minister. Or if the court says send it back to the constituted authority, the constituted authority sends it up to the election court says null and void, we have no prime minister.